Okay, okay. I don't know why the banner screen won't go away. Oh, okay. Hey, Ghana TV, Sena. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. All right, to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, can you hear me? Can you hear me, my people? Say something. How's the sound? Yeah. Awesome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. To my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. All right. So who do we have in the chat? Let me properly welcome our royals of Africa. So we have Chop Shop Reactions. Yay, I see you. Mbolo. We have Tamara James. All right, our royals are rolling in. Mount Tyson, I see you. Queen Anita, I see you. I see you. Batatas and bananas. Dr. Anita from California. Yay! I told you, my father's and mother's children are out there. All right, our children, come on in. Let's have a little royal chat. All right, my children. Elisaba Yisrael. Mbolo, Mbolwani, my dear children, welcome in. May the real royals of Africa roll in. Batata, banana. I see you, Monkosi David Ben Yahuda. I see you. Queen Pam Hood, welcome back, my dear royal. Welcome back. All right, my dear children. So, Mbolo to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. This is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, who are traditionally the descendant of the crown of Manasseh, son of Yusafio. So welcome to all my Yisraelis, Bantu. Come on in, my children, come on in. My brothers and sisters, my fathers, my mothers out there, come on in. Welcome to our palace. I see Drea Congo. Come on in, fearless daughter of Yah. You are so welcome. Taki, I see you. Our royals are coming in. All right, welcome, 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 my children. Let's first secure our environment. As many of you know, we're getting toward the end of the year, and this is when the time of the year the witches and the wizards get, they get nervous because some of them still have contract to fulfill, and some of their contract, some people have your name on their contract, so you must be our people back at home. In this time of the year, we stay really behind closed door. We limit the exposure to big crowds because of that. So protect your energy. So for that, we are going to call our holy unkulus. So with the permission of our God, Tatan Zambe, the God of our ancestors, the permission of our divine mother, Mama Dombe, the permission of the 7 archangels, the 24 elders, the 4 creatures, we are divinely protected and sealed. So we are going to have this little meeting. So we are divinely protected and sealed. The God of our ancestors said, touch not my anointed. All right. So we will elaborate more on that today. So the reason for our meeting, because it had been a little while since I met with my beautiful Royals of Africa live. So welcome, welcome, welcome. You are welcome. If you're not a Royal of Africa and you're just watching me for the first time, welcome to Nubia, the path to return. This is a safe environment. We are the Royals of Africa. Don't send anything this way you don't want sent back to you. I'm generation 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. What does it spiritually mean? If you mess with my generation, whatever gonna come back onto you will be for infinity. I don't think we want to do that. So accommodate yourself. So to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, we are going to talk about taking back our powers. All right. So I am glad many of you, my dear children, you have done the work, the leg work, because it was prophesied to our people, to our ancestors, that this time will come. All right. So many of you's DNA are being activated. You start dreaming with our ancestors. Some of you are being given things in dreams. It is set to happen, my children. Don't fear. All right. Even if it's an ancestor that you can recognize, or even one you don't recognize, there's a reason why they told us when they conquered us to bind our deceased one. Because in our science, we transfer knowledge in the spirit realm. We have that ability. We transfer power in the spirit realm, and it's usually in the dream state. So in order for them to maintain us disarmed, Masonama, I see you. It is written indeed. Welcome. So that's why they cut that connection with our ancestors. But now, in this awakening, as you could see, our children are awakening and there's no stopping it. All right. So I want you guys to know that we are the generation which is called to take the test over. So unity is required. In order for us to properly unite, we have to heal first. Hello, Ronald. I see you. Welcome, welcome. So basically, my dear children, we are going to talk about what is going on around us. Our son Kanye and Kyrie facing what they're facing, the hit they're going under, you know. So first of all, I would like our sons and daughters out there to know that it is absurd for us. We are the generation of the awakening. We are the generation who came to know who we are. So it would be absurd for us to let that pass us by, to expect from the world, after making us slaves and taking everything from us, to expect from the same people to give us dignity, to give us love, to give us respect, and to give us freedom. You see, that which they took from us by force, they are not going to volunteer it back to us. So I want our children to understand out there that I am truly appalled to see how scattered, you know, they broke us they broke us apart, and they are even breaking us even into more apart, because I am appalled to see how divided we remain, even when, you know, facing the worst adversity. It cost us back at home. It was a matter of us uniting under one major paramountcy to survive what was coming for us, or we were not going to make it. So our generation, we are called to do the same thing. So when you see some of your brothers and sisters like Kyrie and Kanye, they're sticking their neck out there. I want you first to understand that not because they conquered us and make of us slaves that we are all the same. No, my children. Where you come from, some of you, their ancestors were kings, meaning there's a covenant in your bloodline. So among you are your kings and queens. I want you guys to know that. Who are your kings and queens? Your kings and queens would be people who, when they touch one of us, their blood start boiling. They can't hold it. They can't hold back. They can't prevent themselves from getting involved. Why? Because their bloodline is covenanted. Their ancestors sat on the throne, went into covenant with the creator, Tatan Zambe, the God of our ancestors. So his entire lineage or her entire lineage is covenanted. These are the ones you would see give sacrificial love for their people. They will take risk that most of you are not close or even able to take. Okay? Kanye, the other one, Kyrie. They jump. There's nothing that can stop them. They're born for that. These are the kings and queens among you. And there are many. Not all of them are in Hollywood. Not all of them are in the NFL. As a matter of fact, royal bloodlines are indestructible. Slavery didn't faze them a little. Zambe will not allow that which he has a covenant with get destroyed no matter what. And these people know it. So you have to be able to understand amongst you, your leaders, your kings and your queens are your leaders. So not because we were captured and enslaved that it void and canceled the covenant. The covenant doesn't go away because some mishap happened to us. So those you see won't bend for abuse. Those you see won't bend for, even if it's the money, they throw it away. It's in their blood to be wealthy. They don't care to lose it all. But the calling on their life is stronger than anything man may have given to them. And our people, they train us to protect our kings and queens. Because unlike what their religion taught us, you will see that Bible verse everywhere saying, trust no man. I asked our elders, did Zambe ever told any such thing to our ancestors? They told me all that is rubbish. We are the people of Ubuntu. We are one with our Creator. Tatan Zambe makes manifest in us. Tatan Zambe is in each one of us. Tatan Zambe gave us the earth to occupy and multiply. With who? With people we're not supposed to trust. These are not the saying of Tatan Zambe. So in order for them to break us into pieces like they did, they put Bible verses like that in our psyche, knowing that we already have fallen under their control, making them the ultimate and only authority over us. That's why we fail to support each other's businesses. That's why we fail to build up each other. It was by design. None of you came from Africa acting this way. None of the Africans being born on the continent were born acting this way. Something terrible happened to us. So therefore, we need to reprogram. Okay? We need each other. Tatan Zambe never said that. Trust in no man. They do trust in one another. But we, the slave, they're the one they force that in our psyche, so we will be forever dysfunctional. Tatan Zambe gave us king. The same Zambe couldn't have told us trust in no man, knowing that he has a divine representative on earth who's the king, with whom he has a covenant. That's why the kings live and die for their people, because of that covenant. So my children, when you identify one of you, one of your brothers or one of your sisters being a king or being a queen, lined up behind them, because this is how you get your blessing and your protection. Satan Zame didn't create us, his chosen people, to be unruly. Okay? They can only dominate us as long as we remain divided. Earlier on, I watched one of your siblings, Manzambi Zola, and his queen. They had a video premiere, and they took the analogy of the stolen golden bike, which I love. So the stolen golden bike being our identity, our prestigious identity. You know, I made an appearance there. I told them, now that we have uncovered who we are and how prestigious our identity is, are still some of you inclined in believing that these prestigious kings, people die and did everything to steal the identity, were they capable of doing what the European accused them of, selling their own children? Or we now, an identity which cost our son over $1 billion in one day for claiming. Okay, so your papa sold you. I hope that now you understand why they told so many lies against your forefathers. Go and watch their video, Manzami Zola. They made a beautiful analogy about the golden stolen bike. So you have some of your brothers and sisters coming out telling you, you got master's bike, return master golden bike. We have some of our children coming and say, you are being hateful by feeling some kind of way because of the way they treat you. And my children, let me tell you, this is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. You have to understand that not all bloodlines which were stolen from Africa were blue, royal, and therefore indestructible. Our royal bloodlines are indestructible. These are our sons, you see, throwing it all away because it's in them not to put up with nonsense. They know that he who's over them is higher, is greater, is mightier, is richer. He has everything that could dangle on his face. Now, among us were some peasants too. Not all bloodlines are the same. So when we come to that, you have to understand. A lot of people forget so soon. Before they were attractive to the big corporation. Who loved them first? We did. Before they were worthy of rubbing shoulder with the Ish people elite. Who was buying their DVDs from the back of their trunk in our neighborhoods? Who found them attractive enough first? Who found them talented first? Who believed in them and back up their dream, pouring our love and energy? Because anybody we put our energy behind, anybody we support, we invest our time, money, we're investing our energy. This group or that person is bound to rise to the top. You know why? Because we are God's people. When we're backing somebody, it's like God himself backing him or her. And the people who captured us know that about us. That's why they prostitute us around with their products, their brands. They use our energy to build their wealth. Only those of us who are not aware that our wealth, our energy is the one that makes them wealth. So when there were nobodies, whether it was mixtape, whether it was play, whatever they were putting out there, we were the first one who loved them. We were the first one who fell in love with them and backed them up with our finances and everything. We dust them up, we polish them, we put them on the world stage. They became so attractive to everybody. Now that they made new friends, when their new friends slap one of us, They're the one who come and tell us, don't dare cry. Don't dare cry or don't ruin it for me because, hey, they're helping me so much. But you have to understand, you can't be mad at them. The system that enslaved us has been prostituting us the same way and been getting away with it for a long time. We see that artist after artist, politician after politician, and we just keep on doing the same thing. But my beautiful children, I want you to understand that we, the people of Africa, are the inventors, the creator of the first democracy that was ever established on earth. Our people taught us from a very young age, Amandla, power, Bayetu, to the people. We believed in Amandla, Bayetu, when these people were still in caves. So I'm calling on you to realize the power you're sitting on, that you are not utilizing. When people have made of a group of people slave and colonized individuals, they have stripped them off of everything, including the basic, their names, their languages. Guess what? We are their plaything, and it's up to us to set a new standard on how we want to be treated around here. We set that standard because ultimately the power is with us. When we heal to reclaim our identity, now that you know that you're son and daughter of a whole king, yes, making you royalty yourself, there's just certain things you can't allow putting up with. One of it is abuse, ungratefulness, treason. Is that how our English children say that? Treason? Traitors, those who betray their own. You can't accept those things because you have elevated to your new self. So you're going to have to teach clowns around how to treat you. When people spit on your faces after you have been a blessing to them, you withdraw automatically. This is how we do back at home. Our elders teach us to withdraw our energy from them, meaning we don't acknowledge them anymore. We don't dare try to see what goes on in their life. By the simple fact doing that, we are feeding our energy into them. And if they're a good wizard, they can use it to elevate themselves. You see? So you cut cord completely. You say, okay, we made you enough money for you to even qualify to be in a room with them and rub shoulder. Now, when they slap one of us, you the one who dare call us and tell us, shut up. You the dare one coming around us, telling us now, preaching us about love. As if we hadn't given you our love, you wouldn't be where you are. Is our $2 here, $15 here, buying bootleg stuff to put money in your pocket. That's what got you where you are now. You have new friends whom you give green light to come and beat us. We call code. Go and be happy with your new friends. You don't support, you don't follow, you don't buy, you sit quiet. They're going to start feeling the void because they can no longer feed off of your energy. You see, my children, that's how it works. Our fathers and mothers used to tell us when we go to school, okay, and a fight breaks out. My mom or my dad would tell you, instead of before you tell me what happened while your sister is coming home or your brother is coming home crying, before you tell me what happened or how it ended or how it started and how it ended, let us know first if you got involved, because we are taught to get involved. It doesn't matter if we are at odds with our brother, but adversity comes from outside our compound. We treat it as an attack to all of us. So we are not the lineages, so where you're going to come and slap my brother in front of me and you know, like stare at me there in the eyes. No, you're asking for a slap back. And that's what these crown royals are doing. So when you see one of your brothers, such as Kanye, I know Kanye has said a lot of offensive things against us, our own self, his own mothers and fathers. We know, we know, we know. You know, bad words are like vomit. When you have put it out, you cannot take it back. It has caused the damage it has caused. But what Kanye is fighting is bigger than his bigger mouth. I said it before. So even those of us who have beef with him, should fall back. I heard that some of these guys are urging George Floyd's family and our son widow to sue him. I will suggest they fall back on that. We no longer their slaves who used to fight each other to death on command so they could bet on our head. We no longer their slave to tell us how to deal with one another. We no longer their slave for that. In the contrary, when they come and tell you, no, this is how you should deal with your brother, you turn that weapon against them. Our parents used to teach us to tell to intruders that want to infiltrate our differences, you know, to tell them, what concern of yours is it? Even if you found me beating my brother, what concern of yours is it? This is a family matter, but out. That's how we move with them. Exactly. So all of us have to support. These are the crown royals around you. My dear children, in this time of awakening, we cannot let mistrust. Tatan Zambe never told our ancestors, trust no man. It's contradictory to what he asks us to do. He asks us to occupy the earth and multiply. And multiply it with who? People we're not supposed to trust. It's ungodly not to trust in one another, because Tatan Zambe make manifest in each other. Tatan Zambe even make manifest in your worst enemy. When it comes time for his work to come to pass, he will use your worst enemy to even come save you. I hope you guys understand how mighty our God is. And another thing that was, you know, prophesied to our people, it was prophesied to our people that when the time of the awakening and the time of the Exodus, the return comes, that our people will get help from unlikely places and unlikely people. What does it mean? Not the typical, we thought we'll do something about it, but other people. And that other people is you, the grassroots. You, there's more of us than there are corrupted celebrities. That's what I want you guys to understand. There's more of us to engage into the healing of our people. We are God's people. We can be gangsters. Now that we have reclaimed our royal identity, we don't debating. In fact, like I said at Manzambi Zola, a legitimate child never has to explain or debate anybody about his legitimacy when it comes to his place in his father's house. It's a nonsense conversation. He's a legitimate child. It means that his legitimacy was established at the time of his birth, because he was born within a covenant which already existed between a man and a woman. So in the case of the nation of Israel, a covenant between our ancestor Yakuba and Tatan Zambe, it's a done deal. We don't need to debate anybody over it. Now all we need to do is become who we truly are. So it means clearing up our closet, throwing away the slave gears, the gangster clothing and everything, because it's absurd to expect from the world, to give us that which we refuse to give to ourselves. We refuse to conduct ourselves in a dignifying manner We claim we are these prestigious people, but and yet we act like animals, backstabbing each other, doing the worst to each other, selling each other. I heard, okay, that Rihanna is going to perform at the Super Bowl halftime. I'm like, even her, because she took a strong stand when they kicked Kaepernick out of the league. She got upset. Yeah, they violated her brother, rightfully so. That she got upset, rightfully so. And she took a stand that she will not be of service to them until he's restored. They haven't restored her. They haven't restored him. But they're sending the handlers to bring her and bow. That daughter of ours just gave birth few months ago. Our people say at that time, blood hasn't even dried up from her womb. Now they want her jumping on the stage because they're trying to make an example of her. But this is going to continue as long as we let them. My children, we cannot fight that which we have become. We have become them greedy. We want the world to respect us, but we don't want to respect ourselves because many of us have money for God, just like them. How do we stand a chance to defeat them when we have become them? We playing the game of life through their lenses, and we wonder why we left behind. And we wonder why we left behind and why things are the way they are. Nobody takes us seriously. It's because we have done nothing, giving people the right to even respect us, to take us seriously. The strongest of us, we've been feeding them, creating martyrs. That's what we've been creating since the fall of our people. Kaepernick took a stand, he took a knee. His brother followed 2 or 3 until they sent the handlers to call them off. But what kind of respect do you expect from society when you're showing the world that they'll make you do anything for a check? They make you bend over for a check, but in a room full of other men who have shed blood for their freedom, or who have shed blood, or who have stolen, who have killed to be where they are. You can never lift your chin in a room full of such men. You haven't paid your price. Why should they bundle up that respect and dignity and freedom and give it to you? As hurtful as it is, the net, we can shut it down. You know your queen. I went inspired. I pulled their rooster. They have like 15 players, of which 13 are our sons. 13 would shut it down. I know many of you are saying, yes, we have the power to shut it down. But we can't shut anything down until our house is in order. Our house is not in order, my children, and let me tell you why. Now, mind you, not everybody is of a royal bloodline. The royal bloodline, they will do what Kyrie is doing. They will do what Kanye, because remember, these are the covenanted bloodline, the indestructible, no matter what. Not all of us are, okay? Some of us, they already made it there, but with the history of our people, they have seen how the people who dare go against the grain, how they are let down by our own community. So our house is not in order yet, and frankly, we are not in position to ask for more sacrifice to be done until we put our house in order. And how do we put our house in order? We put our house in order by healing, by learning to trust one another again. We put our house in order by learning to love one another again. We put our house in order by learning to understand the hierarchy. We are not on earth to compete with one another. Each one of us life got a purpose. Some of us life purpose is to be a support of another one, because for my dream to come true, I have to be of support to that one. It's only then that the creator would release that which is mine. So you see, our son saw what happened with Kaepernick. One of the sellout was in a room with the executive. I thought we done nailing. This is what we're dealing with. So imagine the boys, they say, okay, we're going to boycott the Nets. 13 players out of 15 are African American. So, and then guess what? The Nets going to say, okay, you want to be like that, we're going to replace you. The Net will announce that they're drafting. Knowing the state of mind of our people, don't you think that they are families? They wouldn't care that the action the sons took is for the cause, all right? A cause which will benefit all of us. But no, they're so selfish, so broken to see it that way. They're going to get their son ready. They're going to go wherever the net is drafting, and they're going to compete. They won't be, they won't sit, they won't wait to fill that void. Right or wrong, my children? Isn't it what we're still dealing with? Say something in the chat. Too many of us are ready to replace us. So as long as we are that divided, that's the biggest vulnerability to our struggle. If our sons from the next say, okay, we're going to shut this down, and if they mess with us, the other team will catch fire. Can the community give the guarantee that nobody gonna let their son sign up with them? If the community can do that, and then our son can proceed. Other than that, don't ask them the impossible. Some of them are not your kings. Their ancestors didn't swear oath to live and die for you. Okay? So we have to understand that. Our house is not in order. Our house is not in order. We also need to organize. How do we take our power back? Is to first take our autonomy back. Each one of your industries should have a council of elders that has nothing to do with anybody in Hollywood. How do you recruit elders among your community? They don't have to be one of these famous ones we see everywhere. No, there could be an elder in the community whom you know is very wise. Our king's sons and daughters are everywhere there. I see them. They're not the loudest ones that will come and be on people's face. I see our crowns there. They're there. Don't even act that they're not amongst you. They're among you. Form a council of elders for the medical field, all the doctors, all the whatever. And they have them sign membership there. The movie industry, the music industry, whatever that is, the athlete. Elders that have nothing to do with celebrity. Elders that are there to keep the core value together, even in our business dealings. This is how you first take your autonomy back. And if you can successfully run council of elders like that, it's a proof that you can handle political autonomy, political freedom. We got to have an organization, a structure that is not funded by them behind the scene pulling the string. These things we are asking for will come at a cost, and the cost is we have to organize. We have to show them that we can support our businesses. We have to do away with that mentality. One day I went to TikTok. I went on TikTok. Who do I see? I see this guy, I nickname the King of Coons, Umar Johnson. He was there screaming, they're the only one who gets killed on the street. because no nation is backing them up and blah, 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 blah. You know how these clowns love to do, you know, play the emotional game and stuff. I'm like, but at the end of the day, Elisaba Israel say, I am an elder in. There we go. They don't need to be the ones on people's faces on our screen. No. Wisdom, when it's solid, it's immovable. A check can buy it. So we need to start organizing. So, and it's funny, we're saying that. I'm like, we need to know. Our children fail to understand that they were, you know, many of them were successfully broken to the point that many of them think they're superior, you know, to African. They don't even regard us as African and stuff. I'm like, you can't have your cake and eat it. That's the Caucasian thing to do. They beat you up, they mistreat you. But at the end of the day, they want you to claim to be American and still be able to go and bear weapons and go to their war. That's the same thing they're asking of us. When him, with his following, the mistake I made was to ask him to share my video of the birth of the Queen, announcing that I'm getting engaged into the struggle. I didn't hear from him. What do I find him do? Making a whole video calling African coons. That even when they have their Amotep name, when you see them with their kente clothes, they're still coons. So when we come from the continent, brothers and sisters, let's get together. You have individuals like that who go behind our back to further divide us, but no, they wait that when the house of Africa in America is on fire, they want homeland to respond. Come on. We are not animals. So we need to organize, all right? We need to organize in council of elders. So let that council of elders being the deciding factor. The council of elders will get economical power by being the organization that should negotiate your contracts, the organization that should respond when one of you is violated. Other communities have that. So when you start organizing like that, you're sending the message that you are capable of two things: of respecting authority that has nothing to do with them, your own authority within your community. It's no longer a challenge to you to line behind a leader and all be on code. So you're proving them that. You're also proving them that you have the ability to run yourself as a nation. If you have that discipline, you can work together, you can respect each other, you can value each other's life. They have made of us monsters. Some people feel justified to take your life because they want to rob you. This is what they have made of our people. We have a lot of work to do. Okay, my people. So keep that in mind. Number one, not all lineages are royal, blue blood, indestructible. And when you identify one of them in your midst, don't compete with them. All right? You're going to get hurt. They're on a mission. Get out of their way if you don't agree with them, but support them. This is how many of you get your blessing. Your freedom is tied to his, and so on and so on. Okay? They know we love to compete. You see a lot of people, they hear you give an idea, they go and implement it, but they won't dare say that I heard it, so and so, brother such and such, or sister such and such said that. They will take your idea and regurgitate it. But the world watching, it's like these people don't get it. They're still competing with one another. But if you follow the proper protocol, just like Sister so and so or King so and so suggest, we should do that. You're sending the message that we are all one. We're working together in this. In order for us to be respected, we got to learn to move differently. Asaya said, I wish we could do this here. I just remember how they destroyed Rosewood. One of our city. Yes, absolutely. So that was a way of them sending the message they don't want our children to have claim to anything. You saw how much it cost to Kanye in 1 or 2 days to claim to be who he is. All right. But somebody's identity is his birthright. We don't need to debate anybody. I wouldn't give them that pleasure, you know? Don't give them that pleasure. Just be who you are. Throw away the gangster behavior. Go back and know that there's a movement of the Hebrew Israelites who have a very corrupted vision of who we are. They mistreat women. They treat women like nothing. The Bantu spirituality knows she's the throne. Your protection comes only when you protect her. Your blessing comes only when you bless her. They have it all wrong. I heard they're very cruel to the women. They marry them left and right. They don't want to follow the protocol and all these things. These are violent souls. You guys, you need to stay away from. Wherever the woman cries, God curses that group of people. Point blank, period. We are not patriarchal system. In our cosmology, we recognize the woman, the female has a very important key. And those who go around mistreating her, abusing her, taking from her are in infractions with the law of our lands and of our people. Okay? So we have to go back. You have to protect the thrones. Your sisters, your daughters, your mothers, your aunties are your thrones. They legitimize you. There's no king without a throne. Okay? They train you to hate her, to beat her, to abuse her. So you will be forever a wandering bastard that will never come to know who he is and will never assume his throne because all you do is degrade her. That's why they were paying money to our children to publicly insult their mother. A while back, I think it was Nick Cannon, who was the host of that show, a show called Your Mama, Your Mama, Your Mama this, Your Mama that. That was a way of breaking you, ensuring that you will never ascend to that throne. Your mother is your throne. Your woman, your wife is your throne. She establishes you. So we need to heal this relationship. We need to heal not wanting what our brother has. If his life purpose is to sit on the throne as the king, it means that whatever the kingdom needs to go by to prosper will be, delivered to us. It means that our crop gonna grow, whatever any of us touches, will multiply and so on and so on. Now, when the wrong individuals sit on that throne, Tatan Zambe locks everything. Life itself, the bare necessity becomes a struggle. All right? When we're disobedient, we pay a heavy price. So protect your kings. They're among you. Don't compete with them. Don't try to sabotage their effort. Those of our brothers and sisters who come and it's pitiful what they have made of our people. Don't hate them because God's people cannot entertain hatred. You can't hate them without hating yourself. Our oneness is in everything, in every one of us, even with our criminals, with our traitors. We just keep them at bay. We keep them far from us so that they're so damaged, they can hurt us, they can sell us for pennies. We protect ourselves, but we are not, our elders said we are not allowed to hate them for. We will plant the seed of hatred in our heart. And Tatan Zambe and our holy Nkulus, our holy ancestors, don't dwell in stuff like that. Okay? So that was it for today. We take our power back by being who we are. So take the word out, start organizing. You yourself can choose your leaders. You yourself can build up your community. If you see an elder, a wise elder, those who don't play favorite, You know, the kings, they're very fair people. They're impartial. They're fair. They don't take sides. This is a key requirement for someone to be king. You have to be fair. You always have to look on both sides. You identify elders like that among you in your community. Invite them to be an elder in your community or in your industry or whatever you guys are gathering. But make it a habit. Start formating council of elders. When you have council of elders, let's say you go to New York and they have a council of elders there, you have an issue with somebody in the community over there, somebody prominent. Guess what? Instead of making a public spectacle in their courtroom, you take it to their council of elders there. This is how we African operate. We always have a council of elders wherever we stay. That's why you won't catch us in the drama, at least most of us. We have problems? Yes, but we try not to use their court system. Okay? We can rule ourselves. We can settle our differences. We have to learn to respect authority. They are not the only authority over us, but they will remain the only authority over us as long as many of you entertain that Bible verse, trust in no man, is so ungodly. But and yet we go around claiming we many gods, but we don't trust in each other. We got to trust in something. We got to trust in somebody. We got to be like God. Remember, I asked you to ask Tatan Zambe when you pray, ask him to make you like him. And how is Tatan Zambe forgiving, long suffering? He's patient with us. He gave us chance after chance after chance. Now, I'm not asking you to give chance after chance after chance to a backstabber. No, you forgive him, but you don't let him in your company in a key position where he can strike and bring you to the bankruptcy court. You won't trust him with stuff like that. In fact, if you discover that somebody is cruel enough to pull bread from out of your children's mouth, you report him to the council of elders. They make a billboard. People you should not trust in the community because they're hateful, they're jealous, they will take from you and your children. This is how we operate. You make them famous, because until you do, they're going to go and burn somebody else. This is how we banish people from among us. So at that point, they can't do business with any of us because they're a snake, they're a thief, they're like their masters. Okay? All right, my beautiful children. Any questions? That was it for today. Monkosi Boyd, William Boyd, Mbolo, I see you. My dear Royal, you have to understand that they fear us. We are double threat generation. We the generation that got to awaken to who we truly are. And we are the generation not only with the knowledge, but with the resources also. There's a lot of black money out there around the world. We're no longer in chain. And another thing, you are more popular than they are. Our children have millions of fans around the world. They have conquered the heart and soul of millions of fans. Do you realize how powerful that is? So it's beneficial for them to keep us as dysfunctional as possible. That will keep us away from standing on our power. Okay? So make use of the power you have wisely. Yeah. We must separate from their ways. We cannot fight and conquer that which we have become ourselves. It's insanity. You know, they value money more than anything. And if we see life like them, they have conquered us. Yeah, Anna Graham. Yes. Queen Anna said we all have our part to play. We do. We do. So I encourage you to build up leaders among you because royal blood is among you. Our fathers, they used to have compounds full of us, you know, and through slavery, they basically had you all mixed. So many of you have at least a drop of royal blood in you. So we shouldn't be beaten to the core just to take any kind of abuse anyhow. When they hurt one of us, our blood boils and we're ready to go to war. When that happens, if you feel like that, know that your ancestor was a king. It's bigger than you. You can't control it. You're born from a covenanted bloodline. Just know that. And when you identify among you those of us who are like that, encourage them. Say you should be an elder in our council of elders. Let's say our daughters who are in teaching, you know, they should form a council of elders of black teachers. So at that level, nationwide, they have weight. So when they tell these people, we don't want to push this curriculum because it's taking away our history, they carry more weight, they have a say so. But if we remain unorganized, they're going to play with us like a ping pong, left and right. And now they have broken us into many groups. So when they're lynching Kanye and Kyrie, because Kanye and Kyrie identify as the Bantu Yisraelis, okay? Well, guess what? Those who consider themselves indigenous or aboriginous, they won't feel called, you know, to help him fight because according to them, he's this African that came through both. I'm the one who was born here. So you see how the division serve those of you out there playing these little divisive games. But at the end of the day, they're pimping the same bloodlines against another. So if our son go and sit down because they want to stand on their right to claim who they are, okay, the group of those who consider themselves indigenous of this land, they say, we don't know why they twist their arms. We are indigenous. This is not our problem. They're going to send their son play basketball for the next. So all this to let you understand is not cute. This little group for a long time. All of you came from Africa. Now they're feeding you whatever, whatever. Be careful with that. We are one. Okay? Let me see. Lenso Flife. Thank you, Queen, for sharing your strong, beautiful knowledge. It is well received. Blessing. Blessing, my dear children. I guess I say, go ahead and stick that thing. So you guys know who you are. The sons and daughters of our kings out there. They don't take abuse. You will know them by the way they move. Okay, they don't bend over for nobody. No money is money enough to have them lose their face or dignity. It's our time to rise up, yeah, and take our position. Yeah, that's it. So the next, our sons, they're sitting on the power, and of course, the other communities are looking. What are these African American guys gonna do? That's why they can never respect our men because when they can really, they can squeeze them. They have their crystal balls in their hands. They can just squeeze them. But many of our sons are crippled by fear. They don't dare. Either fear of failing or fear of being sacrificed because our people, they don't stick to anything. You're going to see the same black people come and talk shit about them. Either is fear, but this is what it lets you know who's king and who's not. A king is not going to sit. He's going to say, as you send my brother to retire, all of us are retiring. No, we don't want to come to your classroom. We don't want to pay a fine to claim our birthright. It cost him $500,000 for even promoting a movie that puts him on the map of world. That's crazy. So, but as you could see the signs around, Tata Nzambe said, in this time of our history, whomever will try will be crushed. So the Western Bloc is gearing up. They all of a sudden find Nazism and racism appealing. I think these people need to worry about that. And Tata Nzambe is a mighty God. When he says something, he does it. The enemy will kill himself. He gonna die through the sword of his own friend. Don't worry about them. What I just want them to do is back off of our children. Let them go and have a show of force, a show of power with the 52 European countries or Western nations who are bound to revive Nazism. This is something to worry about. This is a bigger fish they have to fry. And let our people be, because Zambe said, whomever will try will be crushed in this time. So fear not. All right, my people. So it was nice. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you feel recharged, because we should be hopeful. We should be full of hope in this time. Don't let fear overpower you. You know, we just have to review our ways. We build each other up. You got to be able to identify who's the Frodo. Those of you who have watched The Lord of the Rings. Who's the Frodo among you? And play the role of Sam. Sam was like, you're going to take the ring and destroy it. You are the ring bearer. I shouldn't try to take the ring from you, because they understood that the ring is in the hand of the beholder. As long as it's in his hand, whatever we're trying to achieve will succeed. So what did Sam do? When Frodo couldn't walk anymore, he carried him on his shoulders. He said, let's go. If you can't walk, your feet gonna be mine. This is the attitude you should have around your kings, because this is how our people were in the past. You know, they fought side by side their kings. They didn't desert their kings. They stayed there and fight side by side with their kings until the last moment. But our generation, we don't have to worry about dying. We're the generation who is set to live, heal, and rise. Okay, my beautiful ones. Understand why you are hated. You are hated because you are it. You are chosen. You are favored. You are rich. You are beautiful. You are godly. The land you call home is the richest land the Creator has allowed on the surface of the earth. So understand the existential threats you represent to the thieves and the less fortunate of this world. Understand that a lot comes with you. Okay, my children. Until next time. Peace, my children. Peace in your homes, love in your heart, and unity, for without which we are doomed. All right, so like and share the video. If you are moved to donate to the work of your queen, the links are in the description box below. Until next time, stay safe, okay? Decree your days. For those of you who now know who we are, we don't pray like they taught us in church. We decree our days. You can click on the link, go to our Patreon. There's a detailed, description how the Bantu Israelites start their days. We decree things. Go and see it. Be increased, be divinely protected. Okay. your queen until next time. Mwah.